Sir David Kaufman.
I've had some interesting experiences with doctors. Nowadays people want to test their genes out. So I went to a doctor and I took a genetic test. And then I sent the results to Match.com. And then Match.com got to me. They called me up and they said, based on your genes, we have a perfect match for you. Susan Boyle. Closer. Okay. Then, I had a really bad stomach ache. And I went to an internist. And he took some x-rays. And he said, Dave, I found the problem here. You have a bunch of quarters in your stomach. I don't know how it got there, but it's really bad news. And I said, Doc, that's not bad news, that's good news. Last week I only had pennies in there. It's like compound interest. And then I had plumbing problems, you know what I mean? And I went to a sex doctor, and the first thing he said was, Dave, do you have any physical symptoms? And I said, my wiki leaks. And he says, well, okay, I'm going to take your sexual history now. It's not going to take that long. The first question is, have you had any long-term relationships with women? No. I said, well, yeah, one. Susan Boyle. I said, no, forget Susan Boyle. Long-term relationships. I said, Doc, I don't understand the definition of long-term relationship. To me, a long-term relationship is 3 dates. So that, I'm getting a little older, and I wanted to see if my sperm was still viable. So I went to the doctor, and he was looking in the microscope at my sperm, and he said, your sperm aren't swimming too well. Looks like they're doing the backstroke. Anyway, that didn't deter me from trying to meet women. I know my sperm aren't that good, but so I hung around this co-ed sauna where I live, and I didn't meet any women, but I lost 20 pounds of sweat though. Then I tried to meet some women at the Coral Springs ice skating rink, that thing? And I was doing this. And I yelled out to this woman, "Did you see that? I did a Lutz." She said, "No, that was a putz." So that didn't do much for my libido. So, talking about my libido, I was in a health food store the other week, and I stumbled upon this product. I brought it with me here. I couldn't believe it. It's called horny goat weed. Everybody heard of this? You're not using it, are you? No.
Can't you tell I'm using it?
It's an aphrodisiac, actually. The Chinese found that if goats eat this plant extract, they get horny. So, it sounded good. If it's good enough for goats, it's good enough for me. So, I used it for a while, and it didn't do anything for my libido, but I grew horns, and I have a craving for grass. So this doctor I know, he tells me that women are really impressed when he tells them he's board certified. So I was on a date last week, and I told my date that I was board certified. And she I'm not even a doctor. And she said, Dave, after spending a whole evening with you, it's certified, I'm bored. It was a coincidence. The other week, I was in an auto accident with my proctologist, and he rear-ended me. I had to do that. Anyway, he made it up. He made it up to me. He invited me to a swingers party at his house. So at the end of the party, the men put their car keys in a bowl, and then the women pick the car keys out, and then they have sex with the men that that belong to the car keys. So I put my that sounded good to me. I put my car keys in the bowl, and my car was stolen. I got a bad cut on my hand, and I went to the emergency room, and the nurse said, "Do you like Calvin Klein or Ralph Lauren?" I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" She says, "We have to dress the wound." So anyway, she was kind of cute. So I asked her out, and I took her to the trivia contest at Adventures and Adventures, our singles club. So the last question was, name the song that Otis Redding made famous. And I said to her, "Oh, I know that one. That's I'm Sitting on the Dock of the Bay." She said, "No, Dave, at your age, you're sitting on a bench in Del Rey." So yeah, I admit I'm getting a little older. I'm getting these advertisements from cremation societies and funeral homes. And I got this advertisement from a funeral home, and they said, "Dave, we have a special deal for you. It's a deep discount on a double occupancy crypt." So I said, "Well, I'm not married or anything." So they said, "Well, we'll get you some single women that will spend eternity with you." So I finally get to score. After I'm dead.